He was standing right there in British Columbia, but he did not belong to that era. People swear he was a time traveler. They say she came straight from the past, but when people looked closer at the footage, their jaws completely dropped. She was a time traveler from the future. He actually claims he was standing right there, inside the Ford Theater, the exact moment Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. When people demanded proof, he pulled out a photograph from that exact day and pointed to a young boy in the crowd. He said, "That boy is me." How on earth could he be in a photograph, taken long before he was even born? Because he came from the past. Back in the day, if you ever asked someone if time travel was possible, if we could actually jump into the future or slide back into the past, people would literally laugh right in your face. They thought it was complete science fiction, just pure imagination. But everything completely flipped upside down in 1915 when Albert Einstein proposed the general theory of relativity. He blew the world's mind by proving that time is actually not constant. Depending on the situation, time can dramatically speed up or drastically slow down. How is that even possible? It all comes down to the speed you are traveling. Einstein basically proved that theoretically, time travel is 100% possible. Today we see it in movies all the time. In Interstellar, we see a terrifying version of future time travel. A guy travels deep into space, sees the future, but when he finally makes it back, he realizes that while he hasn't aged a day, all of his friends and family are either incredibly old or have already passed away. In Back to the Future, we see time jumping, where a traveler uses a machine to bounce across different eras. In Superman, he literally flies backward around the Earth at the speed of light to reverse time. Even in Harry Potter, Hermione uses a time turner to literally rewind the clock. But you are probably sitting there thinking, okay, that's just Hollywood magic. Has anything like this ever actually happened in real life? Well, take a deep breath, because today, I'm going to show you some of the most chilling, unexplained events in human history that prove time travelers might already be walking among us. But you gotta stick around and watch this video all the way to the end, because the last story I'm going to tell you will literally keep you awake at night. As always, let's do it. One of the absolute most famous and chilling time travel sightings in history happened in 1940. A man was spotted in British Columbia, Canada, and he completely stuck out like a sore thumb. He did not belong in that decade. The clothes he was wearing, his hairstyle, his sunglasses, his entire vibe, it looked like he had literally teleported straight out of the 2000s. There is an incredibly famous, completely authentic photograph taken at the exact moment he was spotted in the crowd. And the absolute most terrifying part, he is holding what looks exactly like a modern portable digital camera. Let me remind you, portable digital cameras and DSLRs absolutely did not exist in 1940. Now some experts try to brush it off, claiming he was just a hipster, someone who was just incredibly ahead of his time when it came to modern fashion and trendy clothes. But that leaves one massive, terrifying question. If he was just a trendy guy, where on earth did he get that camera? Was he just a guy with weird fashion sense? Or was he a time traveler from the future, who went back to document history and snap some photos? To this day, nobody has the answer. You all know Jennifer Lawrence, right? The massive super successful Hollywood A-lister. Well, there's a massive conspiracy theory that she is actually a time traveler. People genuinely believe she traveled here from the past, and that her real identity is Zubaida Tarvat, a famous Egyptian actress from the mid-20th century. If you put their photos side by side, the resemblance is absolutely bone-chilling. They look like the exact same person. Theorists claim she just changed her name, jumped forward in time, and continued her acting career with her exact same face. So is she really a time traveler who escaped the past? Or is this just the most insane creepy coincidence in Hollywood history? Nobody knows. In 2013, some incredibly disturbing footage surfaced online. It was shot way back in 1938 in Massachusetts, USA. The video shows a group of young factory workers walking out of a building. At first glance, it looks totally normal. But when people zoomed in and looked closer, their jaws hit the floor. I'm going to tell you exactly what they saw in that video. But hold on, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, don't wait, hit it right now. And hey, are you obsessed with creepy unexplained mysteries like this? Drop a comment down below saying time travel. That's all you gotta do, and I'll keep bringing you the most terrifying mysteries on the internet. Okay, so when people analyzed this 1938 footage, they spotted a young woman walking in the crowd, holding a mobile phone up to her ear and having a full conversation. Let me remind you, cell phones did not exist in 1938. Back then, just owning a basic clunky radio was a huge luxury. Some skeptics and experts tried to claim she was just holding an early experimental hearing aid. But that raises an even bigger, creepier question. If it was just a hearing aid to help her listen, why is she clearly talking into it? You can literally see her chatting away. Was it a bizarre medical device? Or was she a time traveler from the future who accidentally brought her cell phone into the past? Nobody knows. Have you ever heard of Michael Cera, the quirky, awkward Canadian actor? Well, a massive chunk of the internet is convinced he's a time traveler. There's a real photograph taken in Germany in the 1930s, and smack in the middle of it is a person who looks exactly 100% identical to Michael Cera. I mean, it is identical. How could he possibly be in a photo from the 1930s when he wasn't even born yet? Some people actually theorize that he traveled back in time to spy on the Nazi organization. Meanwhile, others claim it's the other way around, that the person in the photo time traveled to the present day to infiltrate Hollywood. What is the real truth? Is he a time traveler, a historical spy, or just another terrifying glitch in the Matrix? We still have no idea. There's an American lawyer named Andrew Basiago, and his story is absolutely terrifying. He claims that when he was a young boy, he was forced to be a test subject in a highly classified top-secret US government experiment called Project Pegasus. According to him, this project was completely focused on cracking time travel and teleportation. He swears that the government successfully sent him back in time to the year 1863, right to the exact moment Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address. It gets crazier. He claims he was also teleported straight into the Ford Theater on the exact night Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. He says he was standing right there when the president was murdered. When people obviously demanded proof of his insane claims, he pulled out a genuine historical photograph from Gettysburg in 1863, and he pointed to a blurry young boy standing in the background. He looked right at the camera and said, "That boy is me." Most people completely ignored him and wrote him off, claiming he has lost his mind and was completely delusional. But what if he isn't crazy? What if he really was a child test subject in a dark, secret government time travel experiment? To this day, it remains an absolute chilling mystery. I know you have goosebumps all over your arms right now, and I know you absolutely love diving into these dark, terrifying mysteries. That is exactly why I made another episode uncovering the absolute most terrifying events that have occurred inside the Bermuda Triangle. I break down exactly why it swallows entire ships and the horrifying reason pilots are terrified to fly over it. So click right here, because once you discover the actual dark secret hiding at the bottom of that ocean, you will not believe it.